when it comes to a lot of these movies and the early test screenings that happen and why there's a lot of bad press with some of these movies when we start hearing about trouble, we need to talk about why many people are inclined to believe some of these and why people aren't inclined to believe many of them. So let's get into this. So most of you know by now, troubled productions happen all over the place with many movies. Specifically when we talk about them, comic book movies obviously take the forefront because that's what we're talking about here. And recently there's been a lot of talks about X-Men Dark Phoenix having a lot of trouble behind the scenes. And a lot of people are believing these reports. And then on the other side, when something like a report comes out that says Marvel Studios is having trouble with a movie, a lot of people dismiss it. And a lot of people are confused, being like, well, okay, why is one acceptable and the other isn't? And there's a pattern here, and I want to explain this to you people, specifically you new guys that are new to this channel or getting into this and how you kind of come to this conclusion. So if an anonymous source and somebody that's seen a movie or a screening or something comes to you and says, look, the movie is bad, and you just look at the history of the movie, right? Extensive reshoots, delays of the movie, 2 times delay in X-Men Dark Phoenix's case, right? The history of the franchise having a rocky, I guess track record is the best way to put it. You kind of look at that and you take it at face value. You go, well, this could realistically happen, right? This happened with Justice League. There was reports all over the place that the movie was a bigger mess than BBS in many regards, and that's why there was a lot of people reporting on, including myself, going, well, if we look at the track record, what happened behind the scenes with BBS, the fact that Justice League was cut down from 2 movies to 1, reshuffles and everything, that kind of makes sense, right? But when someone comes out and says, Captain Marvel is having production issues, you look at them and you go, okay, what do you got for a source? And they go, you just have to trust me. And people go, well, no, because they haven't had troubled productions other than Iron Man 2 and Thor the Dark World. And even those weren't really troubled productions. They were just troubled to get off the ground, but then everything ended up going the way they wanted it to in the long run, right? So that's the difference here. You have to kind of pick and choose what you're going to believe. If somebody comes to you and goes, okay, Avengers 5, it's having a lot of trouble. Oh man, those Russo brothers, they're having trouble figuring out what an idea is for the next Avengers movie. Are you really going to believe that? After they did The Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, which I assume Endgame will be good, you're going to believe that their 5th movie in the universe is suddenly they're having trouble and they can't figure it out, and then the movie's going to see massive delays and reshoots? Does that sound like does that sound like a Warner Brothers or a Fox scenario where once you hear that you go, oh no? Because that's what has realistically happened in many scenarios. At the same time, if somebody comes out and says Wonder Woman 84 is having production troubles, you're probably going to go, no, because Patty Jenkins knows what she's doing. Right? There's a track record to build on. You have to believe the track record. That's really what it's at. So you kind of pick and choose what you believe, and generally, if a lot of reports are coming out saying, hey, this thing is bad, if it has a track record of being bad, there's more incentive to believe it's right.